Hello, my name is Mr. Black. The views and opinions expressed on this channel are mine alone. They are based on my own thoughts and experiences. They are not sponsored, scripted, or otherwise influenced from the outside. Thank you for joining me. Let's begin. Since this is my first conversation, if you will, I was waiting for a good topic to kind of dive into. This particular one is pretty relevant to all of us, especially in, civilized society. Modern society, the year being 2021. And by the way, I'm not here to give you facts. I'm here to give you perspective, so take what you will. Call them stories if you want. Conversations. Whatever. But today we're talking about college. The idea of college, or maybe the burden of college. It's like there are more people that want us to go to college than either don't or say that they don't. Right? Like most people promote the idea of going to college, which is understandable because college can or is supposed to provide knowledge which can be applied to various fields, jobs, etc. But what we're seeing in today's world, I think, at least from my own experience, is that you're either working on a computer, making a specialized product, or you're in the service industry these days. So the people that are going to college are pretty much going from one box to the next. But the issue there, especially in today's world, society, economy, is that going to college now puts you in serious financial jeopardy. You get to start your adult life with one of the largest debts you'll ever have to pay. Maybe beside your house. I guess that depends on where you go to school and where you end up living. But nonetheless, it's still one of the largest. And at that age, when you're typically getting out of college, say if you went straight after high school, you're what, 23, 24? What have you really learned about finance? Unless one, you're a finance major, or two, your parents were wise enough to teach you about finance before you left the house. So if it's not A or B, well then, you really don't know about finance. And it's not like the people who lended you the money are going to teach you. In either case, whether or not the terms are fair or not, even if they are, you're still paying interest upon a very large sum of money. So you're paying for a very long time. Depending on your income when you get out. Majority of people are not making six figures. Maybe end up making over the course of a career, but the percentage of people that are making six figures within the first, 5 years of employment after college is pretty low. So most everyone is paying large debts for a long time. I'm going to propose not necessarily an alternative. You've heard this 1,000 times. But this message is for specifically the young people that are about to make that decision, those 17, we don't say 16, some people are really proactive, start looking at college at 16. I didn't. I'm lazy. I started looking at college my senior year when it was too late to start looking at college. But that's just me, man. That's just, it's how I've always been. So 16, 17, you're looking forward. And especially when you're in high school, you start talking about colleges as if they're your own brands that, you kind of rep them, especially if you get, early acceptances and whatnot. It's like bragging rights to have been accepted to this place. And it's a good feeling. I received such acceptance letters. And you're always happy to meet success. I'm in. For me, the reason I didn't immediately go to college, even though I got acceptance letters, was I couldn't afford it, and kind of had the idea my parents didn't have good enough credit to get a loan. Also, I really wanted to get away from where I was, so I joined the military. That's not what I'm advocating today. Let me be clear. I'm not advocating the military. Now, I'm not saying don't either. If you're inclined to go to the military, by all means. I had very positive experiences, and I'm grateful for all of them. Made lasting friendships, and learned lifelong lessons. So I'm grateful for my experience. I'm just saying it's not for everyone. What I'm advocating is the knowledge of self. Self-seeking. Self-educating. Spending enough time with yourself to understand what you want and to understand what you are comfortable enough doing to get it. Because we want to fall into the tropes of the hard worker and the single path to success. Not everyone has to be the same, man. Rich doesn't mean the same thing to everybody. Success doesn't mean the same thing to everybody. Happiness doesn't feel the same to everybody. If you're happy and can live on $40,000 a year, depending on where you live, hopefully not a major city because you're not living, but if you're in a rural area, $40K, and if you can live and if you're happy, then who's to tell you that you need to do more? Now, if you're not happy, well, then you should change your situation. And the only way to do that is to make yourself more valuable. That is part of the reason why people go to school. It's because they want to make themselves more valuable. But what a lot of people have realized and learned is that they're selling wolf tickets, man. Because a lot of the things you need to succeed in the workplace, skill accounts for 50%. And I'm being that's a rough estimate. I'm also speaking as someone who manages people and evaluates people. And when I'm looking to move people up, skill isn't the only requirement. Sometimes a lack of skill can be made up for by other attributes, like willingness, the ability to see and put together multiple pieces, critical and complex thinking, especially when you're talking about environments where you have to either interface with customers or large groups of people. The emotional intelligence to navigate a professional environment, but it's also a social environment. So these are skills that you don't necessarily learn at college, especially if you're not paying attention. If you're just mechanically getting the work done, making sure the grades are up to progress, and blacking out at every opportunity, you're missing a lot. You're missing a lot. Yeah, I know. You're 16, 17, 18. Right now it sounds fun. Oh my god, I can't wait to go to college. I'm just gonna go wild, buck wild, because I get it. I do. I was there. I was there. I felt the same thing. Lucky for me, I did make a wise decision, and I went to the military where I was both simultaneously held to a high standard, and I was always, kind of had to be accounted for. Even location, couldn't go out of town without telling somebody. But I also got to go wild, on the weekends and stuff. So I did get out of my system. I'm not saying that you don't get to experience the fun. But even while you're experiencing the fun, pay attention, because even then, lots of things happen even at those parties. Check in with yourself. You'll start to see the more and more you do it. Because you're going to think to yourself, well, I'll party forever. You won't. You won't party forever. The people that party forever are stuck. They're stuck. And it's okay. They'll either find their way out in this lifetime or they won't. It's their choice. But for those of you that are actually interested in progressing your life, and getting some fulfillment, you have to invest in yourself. So the point of this whole talk was, you don't need to go into massive debt to increase your value. Especially in today's age. Holy moly. Honestly, you want to know the only tuition you should pay? A YouTube Premium subscription. Because anything you want to learn, any guidance you need, any community you want to find, just on YouTube, man. And then the internet at large. Now, some people are saying, oh my god, he's saying don't go to college and just watch YouTube. What a stupid motherfucker. I understand you and I hear you. I hear you. But I'm someone who's looking backwards in time, wishing I would have had someone to tell me words of wisdom. I kind of did. But I didn't get everything I needed to hear. And when it would have been nice to hear that I can make myself valuable, that it doesn't take someone else or another institution or an outside entity to make me valuable. I can make me valuable. So that's what I did and that's what I'm doing. Let me tell you what I would do, given the knowledge I have now. If I were a high school student, someone who's actually got goals and ambitions, maybe understand that enriching yourself does take an image, it does take a vision, it does take a goal, so you kind of have to know what you want. So this is for those individuals. Some people know early in life what they want, or at least have an idea. So for those individuals, here's what I would do given the knowledge that I have now. First, I would go on Amazon and buy the book, The Richest Man in Babylon. I would read that book. It's thinner than your girlfriend's eyebrows. It's only like 70 pages. I don't know. It's really short. But that book will properly tell you how to utilize your money, regardless of your income. Regardless of your income. So you're just out of high school. What I would do is I would plug in and let's just get a job. Get a job somewhere. Now, if you have enough time to look or pick, then pick something you think you'll like, but don't pick something that's too easy. You'll be bored and you won't learn much. Or, if you interview with someone and you really like the boss, that could work too. Mentors are always good to have. But what I would do is I would find a job, one that I'm interested in, work there, and work hard. Work hard, work smart, apply the principles with my income that I learned from the book, Richest Man in Babylon. Go get it, read it. Don't be afraid of money. Let it work for you. And then through the course of a decade, while you're building your wealth, learning valuable skills and character traits, then by the time you're my age, you'll be able to do whatever you want. And I mean that. If you apply yourself, especially early. This is the advice I wish I would have gotten early. Because I did know what I wanted to do back then. And I did, in a sense, make it happen. That's another story. So maybe that's the message, you know. If you need to go to college to please your family so you're not disowned forever, everyone's got a different situation. If you just don't believe you could do it yourself and you need the structure, go to college. But for those of you that have that drive and you just feel in your heart that you can do something, believe it. Now don't gas yourself. Don't let your head take you away. Don't let your head tell you that you're badass. The second that you think you're badass, life's gonna slap you the fuck up. But know that you're capable. That's okay because you were given capability. Nothing wrong with knowing that. So, if you leave with anything today, it's I hope you know how valuable you are and that you are the only one that can make your value. So if you have the desire to increase it, then do so. And watch how your life changes and how you change the people around you. The more you invest in yourself, the more it will rub off on the people around you. And they will start investing in themselves. Because they will realize the truth that wasting your time sucks. Well, we all like to tell ourselves that sitting in front of the TV and watching it is great. Part of us is dying inside every time we're just sitting there. So just take some of that time from now on, not all of it. Still watch the show. But take some of that time and just make yourself more valuable in what you're interested in. It doesn't have to be anything you don't want. You know, me, I shoot bow and arrows and I trade Forex. That's what I like to do. So those are the things I try to get better at. One kind of makes me money and the other one doesn't. But I practice them both. There's fulfillment there. And the quest to be better always feels good because you get better. So, thanks for listening. Catch you next time.